The Age of Shadows is a South Korean historical spy thriller directed by Kim Jee-woon, the same director of I Saw the Devil, A Tale of Two Sisters, A Bittersweet Life, Good, the Bad, Weird. I was lucky enough to watch this movie during the 73rd International Venice Film Festival, and for that I have to thank my awesome dad for getting the tickets. I love you, Dad. I was so happy. The Age of Shadows is an historical spy thriller that will satisfy most fans of the genre who have gotten tired of modern spy movies. If you've seen Spectre, if you've seen Mission Impossible Rogue Nation, the usual, we're closing the agency and now we have to prove that we are actually the good guys and not the bad guys because there is this huge conspiracy. There's none of that shit. If you hate it. I don't mind it, but other people are hating it because it's the same old thing in every single one of those spy movies. This one is different. The movie is set in the late 1920s during the Japanese occupation of Korea, and we follow a Korean police officer who works for the Japanese as he tries to infiltrate a Korean independence organization so that he can destroy it from inside. Right from the first scene, which features an excellent chase scene where Japanese soldiers are following from the rooftops a member of the independence group, you are gripped on the edge of your seat. There are some instances of both dark and light humor in the movie that are used to relieve tension, that made the entire audience chuckle, which was pretty cool to experience. But this is still a very serious movie that might become a bit convoluted to some people, mostly because you're going to mistake some of the names of the characters, which, let's be honest, they sound very similar to one another. The director Kim Jee-woon proves once again that he is a master at crafting tension and building exciting action set pieces and interesting characters without the need of over-explaining everything. The pacing is great, and this did not feel like a 2-hour movie. It is relatively slow during the first act, just because it's setting up everything, but after that, the time flies very, very fast. And there is a brilliant and lengthy sequence on board of a train that rivals the pub scene from Inglourious Basterds in terms of edge of your seat tension that keeps on going until it reaches the bloody shootout. And that scene alone is worth the price of admission. It was a joy to watch and truly, truly excellent. The cinematography, set and costume design are gorgeous as well, and it's always interesting to learn more about the troubled history of Korea through movies, just like we did with the Independence War of Korea, with Kawaguchi, the Brotherhood of War, The Good, the Bad, the Weird, with what happened in Manchuria during this period in the 1920s. The acting does not disappoint at all. Song Kang-go, from Memories of Murder, Snowpiercer and The Host fame, delivers a memorable performance as the double agent who is conflicted between helping his fellow Koreans and working for the Japanese government. Gong-yoo is excellent as well as one of the members of the independence group, and there was also a great cameo by one of the director's usuals that made me squirm of joy once he appeared on screen. I was like, it's so great! I was loving it every single time he appeared on screen, which is probably 3 times in the entire movie, but it was great as always. I'm not going to spoil who it is. Some of you probably already know it, or you figured it out. I'm sorry if I spoiled it, but once you see it, you're gonna be just as happy as I was. And talking about squirming, as you might expect, the movie is very darn violent. This isn't violent as I Saw the Devil, it's not at all like that, but the gunshots are incredibly loud and frightening, and every single time shots were fired, everybody in the audience just jumped on their seat because it was so sudden, so loud, so scary, as a gunshot would normally be in life. And the bullet wounds are bloody. There are a couple of torture scenes that are very intense and hard to watch if you're not used to it, but it still isn't as gory as I Saw the Devil, it isn't even constantly violent. There are these spurts of violence, but if you're someone who hates violence, you can still watch the movie and enjoy it even though there are these sequences. The soundtrack and sound design are excellent, as always, even though this time the soundtrack isn't as memorable as the one of A Tale of Two Sisters or A Bittersweet Life or even I Saw the Devil. There isn't that one piece of music that was memorable, except one which isn't original unfortunately, but the ending theme is pretty great and I can't wait for the soundtrack to be available. It's one of those, it's great to listen to it while it's in the movie, but not as great as to listen to after you watch the movie, but still pretty cool soundtrack. Overall, if you're going to see one foreign film this year, be sure to watch Age of Shadows. It is compelling, violent, action-packed, thrilling, well-acted and gorgeous looking historical Korean spy movie. The length and subject matter might throw some people off, but if you enjoy the director's previous work, you're going to love this one just as much. So guys, are you interested in seeing At the Age of Shadow? Which one is your favorite Kim Jee-woon Korean movie? And which one is your favorite historical movie, period? Tell me in the comments below. Thanks as always for watching. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.